Okay, I guess not.
Isn't it fun being the guinea pig?
Yes. Thank you for breaking silence. It's kind of awkward. I see so many faces, but nobody's talking. All right. So thank you everybody for coming and attending this meeting, members and observers. My name is Tyler Shively. I am acting as the temp chair, and I call this, just lost my agenda. I call this meeting to order. The organizing convention for Marshall County, for the Libertarian Party of Marshall County, to order. We need at this time to credential attendees, correct? Okay. So I'd like to recognize our Secretary Dustin to credential at this point.
So in attendance today is myself, Dustin Peltz, and Tyler Shively.
Great.
And several observers.
Awesome. So at this point, we'd like to move to adopt the agenda for the meeting.
Okay.
Without objection.
Without objection.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
No, I think I was, so without objection.
Yay.
So just gonna, everybody, this is Ty's first time and Dustin's first time. My name's Evan McMahon. I'm the development director for the state party. So when you're doing something without objection, you would state the motion. So without objection, move to accept the agenda. And then you give it 5 seconds. And if nobody says objection, then you go, okay, so moved. And then you move on to the next thing. So without objection, you just have a couple of seconds for somebody to say, no, I object. I want to amend the agenda. And then you say, okay. So your agenda is moved. So now you can go on to the next thing.
Great. Okay. So at this point, we'd like to open up for public comments.
We should probably do this first. Hold on. So one thing that we didn't do was, there's the agenda. So this is what was just moved, but the two of you had already seen it and were familiar with it, so that's okay. Right. But you do want to make sure beforehand that the agenda is up on the screen, or that the bylaws or whatever you're moving is up on the screen. So this is the agenda. Okay.
Okay.
And I will kind of keep this up on the screen a little bit. And if you would like me to go back to it, if you could just say, could you show the agenda again?
Okay.
And then I'll put it back up on the screen. Just give me a second to do it. Mr. Chair, the 2nd District Rep has his hand up. Would you like to recognize him?
I would.
This is Eric Harris, the 2nd District Rep of the SCC. I just want to inform you that the live stream on the Facebook page is down.
Okay. Thank you. So Evan, in this situation, do we just move forward? Oh, you are still muted.
It looks like it's working for me. Nope, yep, it did. It crashed. Okay. Let me see here. That's weird. It is, however, working on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it only did like 1 minute, 1:30 of the. That is weird.
Fake book.
Yep. Unfortunately, there's nothing that I can do about that because it will not let me redo it. So it is being recorded and it is being live streamed on our YouTube page. And as a matter of fact, I will do this. I will go to your Facebook page and I will post the link to the YouTube video. If you want to go ahead and continue, I will take care of this.
Okay. I know next on the agenda is public comments. I know Evan had some he'd like to share. Would anybody else like to comment? This is a time that would allow. Eric, I do see that your hand's up. Is that still raised? Okay. I didn't know if that was from previous. Would any observers, you can raise your hand now if you have any public comments or questions. No?
Oh, sorry. I do.
Oh, okay.
I just want to thank Tyler for putting in the work and the effort for organizing the Marshall County Libertarian Party. It's a daunting task, and if it's not something that you're used to doing, it can be a little hair raising. So I just want to personally thank you, Tyler, for stepping up and putting the effort to organize your county convention and reach out to your local party members, and then getting someone like Dustin to ultimately be what we call lovingly in the party voluntold, that he would be serving or nominated for an officer role. It's a hard task, and you came into this without any experience or background in it, and so you've handled it like a champ. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And Dustin, I'd like to thank you too for jumping in blind. So I really, really appreciate the effort that you're putting in today and in the future if you choose to do so.
Yep, no problem, man.
Awesome. Are any other anyone else like to raise their hand? Have any comments? All right. If that is it, I would
Tyler,
like to.
I'll just do a quick comment. You got a second?
Yes, absolutely.
Just really thank you on behalf of Porter County Libertarian Party for allowing us to observe today and being the first guinea pigs to go through this process. And double bonus for picking a Cubs fan, it looks like, for your secretary. So.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Mike. I'm glad that I can be a crash dummy, and thank you so much, Evan, for the time and effort that you've put in to this, and me personally, giving me the information to, giving me my airbag in this crash course here. And anybody else? All right. I'd like to move to adopt our bylaws. And then Evan, with that, do we go right into a roll call vote, or is there, okay, do we need to, maybe that's what you're doing right now.
It should be up on the screen.
Okay.
The bylaws for the county, and I'm slowly scrolling through them. And what you may want to do is before you take the vote, you've made the motion. Now it's a good idea to open it up for discussion. even if it's brief discussion.
Okay.
This is where amendments can be made. Somebody would move to amend a section, and then you'd vote on the amendment. Any questions that people have, you can answer them during that period. And so, as long as it's substantive to the main motion, to the whatever's on the table. So if somebody wants to move to amend, the conversation then is only about the amendment.
Okay.
So like if I wanted to change the section 3, which is up on the screen right now, the principles, if I wanted to change item number B, I would move to amend section 3, article B, that only moral basis of government is the preservation and protection of unalienable natural rights. I would say I would want to change that to inalienable instead of unalienable. And so I would make that amendment. Then at that point, if there was a second to that amendment, if somebody said, I second that amendment, then at that point, the only conversation that you can have then is about that amendment. And if there's no more discussion about it, then you'd move to a vote. Then if that passes or fails either way, then you go back to discussing the main motion, which is adopting the bylaws. Then at that point, any additional amendments can be made at that point, anything like that. But you always have to stay on whatever is what's called on the floor at the time.
Okay.
So you can't amend. If I had made that amendment, move to amend section 3, part B, and then Mike said, well, I want to amend section 3, part C. Well, no, you can't do that. We're in this amendment that was tailored to just this section.
Okay.
So does that make sense?
Yes.
So now is where you would have the discussion about your bylaws between you and Dustin. I would not take commentary from any of the other looky-loos in the galley.
Okay. And Dustin, have you been able to kind of look through that?
Yeah, so I read through them briefly the other day at work while I was at work on break. So I think they're a good start. We can go back and touch them up, whatever spelling errors and stuff like that. We can catch those up a different day. And I think this is a good start, though, to what we're trying to do. So.
Okay, great. Yeah, I don't, okay. So at this point, yeah, I guess we just opened up for discussion. So at this point, we would be able to make a roll call vote since nobody's moved to amend anything, correct? Okay.
Correct.
So, I move to adopt the LPMC bylaws.
Yay. Yes.
Yay. Okay. And so yay. So at this point, and we say that this was, so he records that we both voted, and then
Okay.
we can move on.
And then so your secretary would report the vote. The secretary would call the roll, and he did that, and you both voted yes. So then
Yes.
he would report the vote as how many people voted in favor and how many people voted no.
Okay.
Okay.
So 2 in favor and 0 non-vote.
And so then, Ty, you would say, so the motion carries. The bylaws of the LPMC are adopted.
Okay. All right. So the motion carries. So we move to adopt the LPMC bylaws, and that motion carries.
Okay.
And I don't believe, I don't believe I have a copy of the LPIN bylaws. Is that what you're putting? Okay. So, and then I would like to move to adopt the LPIN bylaws. Like to roll call for vote. Move to roll call for vote.
Yes.
Yes.
So let the record show that there are 2 yeses and 0 knows.
And it's a good habit, Dustin. I know it's only two of you, but it's a good habit to actually call the name. So
Oh.
actually go through the roll and say, Chairman Tyler. And then he would say, yay. And then
Okay.
he would say, and Secretary Dustin, I vote yay. And then it's just a good process to do that because you're going to have more people on at some point. So
Right.
it's a good process to have that and then record and then state what it was after the votes ended.
Okay. So are we moving forward from then there or?
So you voted yes. So then
Yes.
Tyler, you would say,
So we've moved to adopt the LPIN bylaws, and that motion carries.
the bylaws of the state party are adopted.
The bylaws of the state party, the LPIN, have been adopted. So I'd like to a motion to next on the agenda, officer elections. And at this point, we are taking nominations. Move to take nominations. Okay. I would like to nominate Dustin Peltz as secretary. So it'd be
So
at
the way
this
you do
point
it
he would be
is
running
unopposed.
unopposed. Okay, but he would also
However-
be
Go ahead.
carrying the treasurer position.
So you would not be voting for him for secretary. You'd be voting for
Okay.
him as treasurer because the
Treasurer.
treasurer can serve dual roles without being elected as secretary. But so when you open the nominations, you say, we're opening the nominations for this officer. And typically it's done top down. So typically you would start with chair and then vice chair, treasurer, and then secretary. So those are typically the way you would do it.
Okay.
And then you just open the nominations for the role of chair of the county party, and then nominate yourself. Wait a second, there's nobody else on here, so move to close nominations, and then you can actually do this one by acclamation because you're unopposed and there's only two of you. So if Dustin claps his hands after that and says yay, and you clap your hands and say yay, then that's by acclamation. Does that make sense? Okay. So roll it back, do it again.
Okay. So I'd like to move to move on the agenda for officer nominations. At this point, I'd like to nominate myself position of chair.
What's your name?
Oh, I'd like to nominate myself Tyler Shively as position of chair.
There's no other nominations, so we can move on to the clap. So you're
Okay.
acclimated.
Mr. Chairman, would you mind passing the gavel of convention chair to the LPIN development director for the purposes of opening, closing, and overseeing the election of the county chair?
Absolutely.
Okay. So on the agenda, we now move to officer elections. So I would like to open the floor for nomination for chair of the county party. Is there anyone who would like to be nominated?
I would like to be nominated for
And
chair.
What is your name, sir?
Tyler Shivu would like to be nominated for chair.
Are there any other nominations for chair?
No.
Hearing no other nominations, I move to elect Tyler Shively as chair of the Libertarian Party of Marshall County by acclamation. All right. You are now the chairman officially at the close of this convention. So you're still the temp chair until the close of the convention. And so you do the same thing for the secretary or for the treasurer. I pass the gavel back to the convention chair, Mr. Shively.
So would anybody do that so well and fluidly?
I've done it many times. It's okay. So just you're opening the floor for nominations for treasurer.
Yes, for treasurer. So I'd like to move to open the floor for nominations for treasurer. Are there any anyone like to nominate?
So I, Dustin Peltz, like to be nominated for treasurer of Marshall County Libertarian Party.
No objections, by acclamation. You will be nominated, the treasurer.
Elected.
You'll be elected, not nominated. You'll be elected treasurer of the Libertarian Party of Marshall County.
Thanks.
And Evan, at this point, we would do the same thing with secretary, right? Because it would be dual.
No.
At this point, no. Okay.
No.
Great.
So you're not electing him as secretary. You can only hold one official position. So he'll be acting as interim secretary until you find somebody else to serve.
Okay. And they
I have
can
the
be
agenda back
elected
up.
at,
You
let's
can
say
actually-
meeting next month, 2 months from now. We can elect.
So
one
that's
members.
actually, let's take the time to actually look at your bylaws for Marshall County that you have newly adopted. And you are here in vacancies. In event of removal or registration of any officer, the chairperson shall notify all LPMC members in writing of such vacancies. Such vacancies may be filled by a majority vote in convention or at the next business meeting following the notice.
Fantastic.
So you have given notice at this meeting that there is a vacancy for the secretary position because the vacancy was created during this convention. So at your next business meeting, the two of you as the board members and any other members can then vote on that reopening for renomination or to fill the vacancy. You would basically have that meeting and you would say, I would like to appoint Christy Avery to serve as secretary, filling the vacancy that there currently is. And then everybody would vote on it and then she'd be the secretary until the next election. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And we'll go through that again when it gets closer to that time. When you're ready to do that, well, I'll help you do that. But so now I'm going to put your agenda back up on the screen. Here you go.
So there's no need for candidate speeches at this point, right? Election
Right.
of officers is finished. So I would like to move to a roll call vote to affiliate the Libertarian Party of Marshall County with the state party, the LPIN.
So in Tyler Shively,
Yes.
Dustin Peltz, yes.
One other point that we need to make on this one. Normally, when we are in person, and actually, can you go ahead and record the vote, Tyler? You got to say that it passed.
Oh,
because you both voted yes.
oh yes. Thank you.
Okay.
So the motion passes to affiliate with the state party,
Libertarian Party of Indiana.
Libertarian Party of Indiana. Okay.
That's good. The next part, and this was something that I hadn't touched on really in depth with you guys yet. So typically when you fill out that affiliation request form, every person who votes yes has to sign their name to it. But since we're doing this via Zoom, that's not practical. So we've made an exception and said that if you're doing it via Zoom or a hybrid method where some people are on Zoom and some people are in person, each person who votes yes needs to look into the camera and say, my name is, and I voted yes to affiliate with the Libertarian Party of Indiana. That officially goes into the video record. It's separate from voting yes. It's stating I'm voting yes, and then I add my name to, so it's, let me do it again. I'll do it like I'm in your county. My name is Evan McMahon, and I vote yes and add my name to the Libertarian Party of Indiana affiliation form. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so both of you guys need to say that.
Okay. My name is Tyler Shively, and I voted yes to move to affiliate the Libertarian Party of Marshall County with the Libertarian Party of Indiana.
And I add my name to the
And
form.
I add my name to the form.
Hi, my name is Dustin Peltz, and I voted yes to affiliate Marshall County Libertarian Party with the Libertarian Party of Indiana, and I wish to sign the form.
Good job, guys. So the last thing is on your agenda is the bank authorization, or the main motions is the bank authorization. And that is not a roll call vote unless you want it to be a roll call vote.
Okay. So I don't see a reason to make it a roll call vote, I guess. So I'd move to authorize the LPMC to open up a bank account for the county party. And this would just be a motion by
Without objection. You
without
just say
objection. Without objection, I move to, okay.
Hearing no objection.
Hearing no objection, thank you. Hearing no objection, we will authorize to set up a bank account for the state or for the county party.
All right, good job. So the last part is setting your meeting schedule. You don't necessarily have to do this right now. You can, as long as you do it sometime soon. Your bylaws do say you have to have a business meeting every 60 days. This is a good time to have the discussion with the membership. Since it's just the two of you, you guys can kind of take it offline if you want. But for everybody else, this is the time when you would talk to your membership who's present and say, what's a good day to meet? Once a month, every other month. We have to do it at least once every 60 days or whatever your bylaws end up saying. And then set the dates and times and places for when you want to meet. Try to make them recurring. So like we're going to meet every other month on the first Saturday at 10 at the Marshall County Fitness Center. I don't know. Whatever it is, just spitball those ideas. And if it's a place that you can hold a recurring meeting, that's a good place to do it at, and set it up for that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So since it's only the two of you, I do recommend that you not set your meeting schedule now, that you probably will talk about it. But then post your meeting schedule, start creating those events on your Facebook page for Marshall County and let people know, send out the emails, maybe send a text message, say, hey, we're officially official. And we're going to start having our regular business meetings. Here's the schedule for that. Also, do make sure to send it to the state party so that we know what your schedule is as well, so that we can put it in the emails that we send out to people.
Okay, great. And
then you have announcements. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, and so sharing events from the county page to the state page, that will automatically put those events links to the state page and the website.
You can always, for every event, regardless of what it is, a business meeting, whatever, if you add the state party as a co-host on Facebook, it will automatically be on the state page. However, that does not constitute letting me know.
Okay.
I do not troll the Facebook page to try to get information on events. And as some of you guys know, I send anybody who joins the party, renews their membership, makes a big donation, I send them information about their local county party. And I have a list of upcoming events. So anybody who joined or renewed recently in your county was told about today's organizing convention. So I have that list and I go through and I just plug it in. I will not go to Facebook and track that stuff down. So you have to kind of keep me updated on anything big that's happening. If you have like Jasper County, Indiana, they have a regular occurring meeting that happens. I want to say it's like the first Tuesday of every month at 6:30 at a pizza place. That's their business meeting. It happens every month. I've got that recorded. That's what goes into the email. Hey, they meet the first Tuesday of every month here at whatever pizza place. If you have that similar thing, then I will just put that in there and that'll be the same until you tell me that it's changed. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Great. Awesome. Okay. So, and then what would fall under announcements? Just like, hey, we're going to be involved in such and such event, or
a good announcement at this point would be, your district rep would say, hey, the next SEC meeting is February 20th. You can get the information from the state website, state party website. I encourage you to attend and watch it. You won't be able to participate because it's just for the SEC members to vote and stuff, but you can watch it. That's also where the county party will be voted on, whether or not the state party accepts the affiliation or not, is at that February 20th meeting. Also, the state party has its state convention coming up, March 26th through the 28th. And you guys will be finding out very soon how many delegates you get to the state convention as a newly affiliated county party. And at that point, you'll want to start filling those vacancies for your state delegates. And we'll talk about that too. But that's the other announcement is you don't know how many you have right now, but if you're interested, they should contact you and let you know that they're interested in being a delegate to the state convention. Okay. And then other announcements are, do you know of any other group, Liberty Group, that's holding an event in your county? This would be the time where you would share that. Like, is there a 2A group that's meeting? Is there a homeschool group that's meeting? If there's some event that's meeting or some group that's meeting that is relevant to the cause of liberty, then you might want to share it.
Awesome. Okay. Great. Right. So at this time we can move to adjourn. Right. And with no, I forgot the word, with no objection, we've moved to adjourn the convention. Fantastic.
All right. Congratulations, guys. Awesome.
A little rough.
A little.
So I'm going to keep recording here a little bit while we talk. That was great. I mean, honestly, I've done this literally all over the country, helped county parties start up, and you did a fine job. It wasn't the worst I've ever seen. Wow. It was definitely up in the tops. You did good. So congratulations. We'll work on getting your CFA 3 filed with the state next. We have 10 days to do that. Mm-hmm. Once you file the CFA 3 and you already have your EIN, so once you have those things, then you can open up your bank account, then sending everything to the state party. And then on February 20th, there'll be a vote by the SEC on whether or not to accept your affiliation or not. As long as your paperwork is in order and in between that time you haven't done something to embarrass the party, you're probably going to get your affiliation certified by the state party. I can't guarantee it. Christy Avery, she hates the second district with a fiery passion, so she may vote not to affiliate with Marshall County. Look at her, she's turning on a camera. Thumbs down. But so, congratulations, guys. I promise to keep working with you and help you, achieve your goals of being a very strong, active affiliate. I'm proud of the work that you've done already in contacting people and trying to build it up. And so let's just keep it going. Let's make your county party better than Morgan County.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Evan and Dustin, again, because you could have easily ran away a few times. So I really appreciate your effort and not knowing me or really any of us and stepping out like this. So thank you.
Yep, no problem.